Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Joining me, he's back on the show this week. It's my co-host Tom. He's stepping up, stepping in because Thanksgiving. What's up, Tom?
Hello, friends. 2 weeks in a row. What can I say? It's like I used to do the show or something.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm sure you had some other ones from earlier in the year to make up for, so it's no problem. It's fine. Yeah, tonight we're going to be doing our annual Thanky or Janky. That's right. It's the look back at the year to determine are we Thanky or are we Janky on all the releases in Warhammer Age of Sigmar and a little bit beyond for this year. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, Rocket. Absolutely. It looks like some people are joining in as we go live. Hopefully somebody will tell me I sound okay. It's the night before Thanksgiving. So, always an interesting time here to do a show. You got
Always
a lot of family coming. What are you doing with family stuff? You going to see people?
No. Everyone's coming here,
No. How
and
fun for you.
my parents are in tonight, and we'll have. Yeah, it's gonna be a full couple of full 24 hours.
I guess. All right. Well, good luck to you.
I think we're gonna have like 20 people for the meal tomorrow. So
That's too many people. That's too many
a lot of
people.
people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. That's just you gotta cut that down, make that more elite. That's right. There you gotta that's the VIP. That's
Well, we're bringing 8 of them. Kids.
I understand. Yes, you have a very large family. All right. So we're gonna get into Thanky or Janky in a moment, but of course, first, the news, because that's what we do here. We start with the news. By the way, the background for this, Tom, I don't know if you noticed, I found this awesome picture. I was Googling like appropriate Age of Sigmar Thanksgiving pictures, and I found this awesome painting of what's his name, of Glutos, and I was like, that's just perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Extravagance.
Yes,
just opulence.
That's the Thanksgiving story. All right. First off, we got a rumor engine. It's a Sylvaneth thing, I think. It's a little weird bug on a branch. That feels like a Sylvaneth thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, those are normally Sylvaneth.
Yeah, he looks like a little Sylvaneth bug. Okay. All right. I don't know what it is. They already have endless spells. They already have a terrain piece.
It's true.
Can we get a one new hero for them? It could happen. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say except you've shown me nothing except this falls into that category of rumor engine where it feels really strongly like one particular thing. Like, namely, it feels like a Sylvaneth thing, which means it probably isn't. They're probably throwing us for a loop here.
No, I mean, it definitely is. Like, those are weird Sylvaneth. Like, Sylvaneth are the only things that I've seen that, like, where just the, like, weird animals exist with no actual
little
explanation
bugs.
or game rules.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but, like, sometimes they're, like, fairies. Sometimes they're snakes. Like, sometimes they're these just weird things that just show up on all their stuff.
Yeah.
Because hashtag Realm of Life.
Sure, yeah. They're just teaming with it. They're absolutely riddled with it. I mean, look, sometimes they have rules. That's what technically fights in melee for the bow guys. The little bug arrow carrier they have for the bow Kurnoth.
I know. I know.
Now, I've never put one of those on a base in my life. I've never.
Well, then you don't get melee attacks.
Yeah, so fine. I don't want those crappy melee attacks anyways. That's not why I took the bow guys. Yes, exactly. Clearly, it's a new Necromunda character. Exactly. It always is. Okay, so that's that rumor engine. Also, boom. I assume they're gonna make some kind of weird new. That's like the big orc stompa thing in the background, but it doesn't matter. The point of the goblin and why I'm showing him is because we've got upcoming starting on December 1st, so next Monday, we have the 25 days of Grotmas coming. New rules, new stories, new everything, one a day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they've said, they said new rules, and I was like, all right, I'm listening. Now, I imagine a bunch of that's going to be for 40K. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but this is where we saw like our gold faction-esque like preview 2 years ago, right?
Sure, absolutely. So I remain excited. I think we'll get. Okay, here's actual AOS content, okay, of the 25 days. We're going to play a game here. We'll check it after Christmas Closest without going over. Audience, you can participate as well, of course. But here we go. How many days out of 25 are going to be legitimate
6.
AOS content? Now,
6.
Hold on. Warhammer Quest stuff does not count. Okay, so no board games. Old World does not count. Underworlds does not count. Okay. It has to be Age of Sigmar. I will also accept Warcry since those units do get rules. So, with Age of Sigmar or Warcry, how many? Not that Warcry exists anymore, but like
I would say Warcry doesn't exist, so you're wasting your breath.
Theoretically, they could dedicate a day to it. How many out of the 25 days?
6.
Okay. Okay. It's good. It's a good number. That's a good guess.
I stick by my answer.
Sure. Got it. Some 10, 12, 10 days for 10 years of AOS. Nice. Nice. Okay. I'm going to say, I'll be a little more confident than you. Okay. I'll be a little more confident. I'm going to say 8. That's my, I literally mean a little more confident.
Yeah, I hear that.
I think now, keep in mind, I think multiple of those are going to be lore days. We'll get like a story or something, right?
Sure.
Rules wise, AOS, like probably 3, but I'm going to say 8 total. Okay.
I think 8. I think 8 is also like that. That would be my second guess.
Sure. The point is, we know we're not getting half the days. That's for sure. Yeah, Spearhead would count. Spearhead's just a different size game of AOS. Absolutely, Petrie. Yes. I mean, Spearhead's just AOS. It's just, small AOS with a slightly different role scroll card.
Sure.
All right. And then the other big news is, of course, Warhammer Quest up for pre-order, but we're going to talk about that in the moment in the main topic of the show. But, of course, we're coming down to our slower time. We'll get to the only 2 weeks of the year here, not too long, where GW doesn't release anything, which is truly amazing. I think we all take it for granted, but there you go. What is this? Double T starting a 2nd edition D&D game, playing a wizard on Sunday. Hype. Excellent. This is excellent.
Wild.
I hope this goes. First time playing 2nd Ed. I'll be interested to know what you think, Double T. My advice is just, keep your mind open, especially if you're starting as a level 1 wizard. Keep in mind you're not going to be doing a lot most of the time.
Yep. Keep your powder hot, or keep your powder dry.
That's right. Until that color spray or whatever you happen to have in the tank is exactly correct and can just end the encounter. But that's fine.
Correct. Choose wisely.
Yes. Playing a low-level wizard is all about being smart. I'll have to.
Magic missile is not the answer at level 1,
but it is very much the answer as you get higher levels. Yes. Having a couple in the clip is essential at higher levels.
Yes, because you need to waste first level spells. Like first level spells.
Well, right? I mean, so also there's just going to be a lot of things that you need to do damage to. Hit points never go that out of control. When you're popping off 5 magic missiles, it's actually a significant chunk of damage that auto hits.
Right. And it's only a first level spell.
Right. Exactly. And the fact that when you run into like crazy ACs or saves, having a thing that says click, click, boom, I don't miss is pretty good. Anyways, okay. So, this isn't 2nd edition D&D talk. That's a different podcast called Fireball the Gazebo. Check it out. You can find it linked below, where Ninjon and I talk about, D&D and all things role-playing games. Anyways. All right. Let's move on from that. Leave our news behind, and let's go to some pick of the week. Tom, what would you like to share with everybody this week?
I'm gonna spruik one of our supporters, one of our friends, Mini Stomp. If you all have Christmas gifts that you need this year,
this is a good one. Yes,
I would encourage you to go check out Mini Stomp. Mini Stomp is your go-to resource for all things Warhammer. Here's the deal, folks. He has a wonderful service that provides models at a wonderful price, and you're just not going to beat it, man. You're just not. And so I have stuff that's literally being shipped to me today.
Nice.
It should be on the mail soon. And whenever I want to buy Warhammer stuff, Mini Stomp's where I go.
Very nice. I love it.
And this is not a paid promotion. Like, To be clear,
No, we
we are
should.
not getting.
We should set up
like,
something with them, but yeah, where do we don't? We have
there's
no business
feedback
relationship with
here.
them right now.
We just love mini stomp.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yes. For myself, I don't often cover a lot of just like wild rumor mongering on the show because it ends up being a lot of like kind of sometimes it's right, sometimes it's way off. We got a lot of rumors. I see a lot of things from this people who are like, he has like 100% accuracy with rumors. And I'm like, you just predicted something a week ago from that guy and it was wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and call BS on that 100% accuracy.
not so 100%. Yeah.
Right. But somebody who's very excited about the new Nurgle and the upcoming Maggotkin tome, which we all of course know is coming, is Mr. Paul Conti, Radio Free Hammerhall, who, if you want the deep dive on the rumors of what he's doing, why he has a video all about that. I'll link it down below. He goes through all the exciting Maggotkin rumors. I can say, I hope most of it is correct. That's what I'll say, and some of it I hope is wrong. I'll let you decide which part is which. There you go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when the tome comes around. So there you go. Okay. All right. So check that. We'll put both of those links down in the description. Hit up Mini Stomp. Check out Paul's video. There you go. All right, Tom. What have you been working on, man? What's been on your desk? Obviously, with all this family around, I suspect you're not getting much hobby time this weekend. But
No.
you've been working on anything?
Building some Slanesh. Just tinkering around here and there, and I'm waiting on my new models to show up.
All right, very cool. Speaking of Slanesh, as I said last week, I am still working on this in Kari. Made a lot more progress since last week. I'm not happy with some things. I'm going to go back and change some stuff. Sometimes you get in the middle of a project, what it comes out with, how it looks is not how it looked in your head. So we're going to change some things around. Like I don't like this particular tone of green that I chose. I was like, man, that's.
I was literally going to say the green's the problem on that.
It is. Correct. You have properly identified the problem. Yes. I was like slightly off in the tone and it doesn't work. I need to adjust some colors. That's okay. That happens sometimes. You get into a thing and you're like, man, it doesn't work.
Do you think you can move towards more of a neutral, like even like a blackish green?
I'm going to move toward more of an actual like blue green. I need to bring it more into the blue spectrum.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
A little darker, a little more blue. That's where I went wrong. But I was like, I like this color. I saw it and I was like, that might work. And I put it on and I was like, that does not work.
Nope.
And that's okay. You're never going to get to a place in the hobby where you're like, nailed it first time, every time. That's not how things are. Just a lot of adjustments. But becoming frustrated with that model as I was painting it, and it took me I wasn't sure what you have properly identified it, but I had to stare at it for a little while. When you're the one in the thing, it's harder to self-identify.
It's super hard to see what the problem is, and especially if you're married to a color. Right. I remember my Claws of Karnak, right? Like I was working on,
and I told you 100 times you need to kill this color, and you were like, "No, I love it."
No, it's what I want. It's like it is the color, and you're like, then you have to change everything else, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And so I just put the project on the shelf because I didn't want to change the color, and it's also not good.
And that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But I set it to the side. Always have two projects. And, I had this thing sitting there on my desk for a little while, and I was like, let's get this bad boy rocking.
Oh, the Boss Rock.
Yes. So I painted up my Boss Rock tower. I didn't put any of the crap on it for either faction because I don't like any of the crap. I just like the big skulls and the stuff. So, yeah, I put a little Boss Rock tower there. He's got his little glowing eyes, and same with the guy on the back. And, stuff like that. So this was just like a really fun project. I did my family Thanksgiving this weekend, so Tom knows my family and knows that that's usually an exhausting experience for me. So I needed something to unwind. Yes, and this was like perfect. So yeah, I worked on this guy. He came out.
I love that terrain. Like I really did enjoy painting that terrain piece.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like this terrain piece is great. And what I like about this, because it's on like the base and stuff, it's really clear. And I can just put this on the table. This is just going to be part of my terrain. But still, if I'm using orcs, I'll obviously use it for the faction terrain. But otherwise, this is just a great place of power. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, pretty stoked. It's like exactly the right size of what I'd want for that. So good stuff. Very fun terrain piece to paint up. I normally hate most faction terrain, but that's one of the few really great ones they've put out recently. So I was all about that thing. All right. Hey, Peppo. Glad I get to catch a show live for the first time in a bit. Yeah, it's been a minute, Peppo. Hope you're doing well. Good to talk to you. Okay. Let's see. Let's head in to some Thanky or Janky, shall we? I mean, let's just get right into it. Okay. T or J. Let's go ahead and minimize that bad boy down. There we go. Thanky or Janky 2025. Here we go. Why? What is Thanky or Janky for those who are uninitiated? Because we didn't get to do it last year because like there was like a book release at the same time. It was a problem. Anyways, okay. Well, we bring back this annual tradition. It's as American as apple pie and turkey and candied yams or whatever other crap people eat on Thanksgiving. As a side note, I hate almost all Thanksgiving foods. There you go. I just want to throw that out there. I enjoy basically nothing about the food on this holiday. I don't like yams. I don't like any of that crap. I don't like cranberry crap. I don't care much for mashed potatoes. I don't like turkey. Like, I don't like any of these things. So I'm just saying, I don't eat a lot of bread. So, you know, here we are. I got nothing. But hey, that's all right. No problem. I can make my own fun. I would call Thanksgiving dinner janky. And that tells you how we play this game. Okay. Yeah, got to make the things you like then, yes. Well, my wife is usually very nice and like instead of mashed potatoes makes me some very nice rice that I have with my food, so she takes good care of me. At any rate, this is our yearly look back at what's happened. And you might say, but Vince, the year's not over. We know what's coming. Like we know the year at this point, right? We know the shape of the year. Yeah. Ain't nothing else sneaking out in 2025 beyond what we know. Like the Nurgle book will happen in the new year, all of that. We're going to review all the major releases, or at least all the ones I could find. Putting together this show is always one of the most like mind-numbing processes of what I go through for the year, because I go to Warhammer Community and I scan every article back from December through January for anything interesting I want to talk about. David Canty, the answer to that is ham. But at the same time, I'm trying to eat less pork in general, okay? Like I still do. But I'm trying to eat less. Because pigs are like really smart and have inter-emotional lives, and like I feel kind of bad eating them. I mean, I'm still am, but you know, I'm trying to do it less. At any rate, yeah, I'm just saying, like they're like pets and stuff, you know. Like a lot of people keep them as pets. Okay, so yes, I scroll through. I think I got to page, I think it was like 65, Tom, of scrolling through the stuff before I got to the end. So there you go. So we're going to review all those releases. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I very well might have. It's entirely possible. I don't have a good way. The filtering on their news section sucks. There's not one that like, you'd think there'd be a filter that's just like Age of Sigmar. Right? Wouldn't that make sense? Nope.
Yeah.
That does not exist. Their filters are like the most insane things. They're like media, reading, illustration. What the hell are you talking about? Why are these not the game systems? I mean, that sounds amazing, David Canty. I'm not going to lie. Although I do have a problem with Thai food. A lot of peanuts in that food. That's a major part of that. And that would kill me. So there you go. Poison. Yes. That's just straight poison to me. I don't enjoy arsenic with my food either, but both will have about the same effect on me. So a release can either be Thanky. We think it was good. That's if it's 51% good. Even if there's 49% bad, we must vote either Thanky or Janky. There's no waffling on this one. It's either Thanky or Janky. Thanky is good. Janky is bad. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. And we want you to make your voice heard, right? So you're going to vote. You'll say what you think in the comments. If you're watching this in the future, drop it down in the comments below. If you're watching it right now, hey, everybody, want to know what you think. If we missed anything you wanted to bring up, don't worry. We have a little catch-all section at the end for like small stuff, things like that. Okay. All right. Tom, are you prepared to go through so many releases?
Sure.
So many releases, and yet at the same time, not enough. Not enough. It's weird. Like I looked back and I was like, is that really all the books that have come out this year? That is not a lot of books. We should have had way more books this year. Let me just say that. But here we are. Okay. You'll see as we get into it. But let's do a little test. Off the top of your head, Tom, what books came out this year?
This year.
Year of our Lord 2025. That is correct.
Was January Orcs? Or was that
was.
December last year?
No, you're right.
Was.
It was January.
Okay.
Good.
And so we had Orcs, we had Flesh Eaters.
Audience, you can play along. He won't see this comments in time. Go ahead.
Orcs, Flesh Eaters, Night Haunt, Soul Blight. KO.
Mm-hmm. You're close. Silence is like great television, by the way. People really love that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're close. There's a few more, but not many more. Okay. You did pretty good. Just some dude with the super chat. I know it's not AOS, but have you seen the new spider for Lord of the Rings? Those two spider Gloomspite Gets fans lost their minds. The Kit Bash potential when it came out. I have. I did see the Lord of the Rings spider. Yeah, it was good. I mean, look, just some dude. You want to talk about an upgrade on the old kit? Whew. That was a thing. That was a thing. For sure. For sure. Okay. All right. Great. So it wasn't really as many as I think. Let's see. Alex, Oryx gets Soul Blight, Blades of Corn, FEC, Night Haunt, KO, Chaos Dwarves. Yeah.
No, Chaos Dwarves.
Yep. It's okay. Okay. I mean, it felt like not enough, right? It was basically like 8 books. Which is, I understand, technically a third in their 3-year cycles, but that's not how they should be released. Because that, I mean, like the last book is coming out 3 months before the edition closes, which always sucks. We need to move to get these things into the first 2 years, or more radical idea, stop with the 3-year release cycle. I know which one I'd prefer. Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
3-year release cycle. Janky. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Oh, yes, there was an IDK book as well. All right. Let's start back at the beginning of the year. Auric War Clans. So this book came out. It's got your rules for both, your Iron Jaws and your Cruel Boys in it. The Iron Jaws were horribly overcosted. They were not good at all in their original book.
Nope.
I would call them straight terrible. Now, this changed over the course of the year with the General's Handbook, which we'll talk about later and all of that. But even initially, they were bad. Things have changed. They've had some good lists here and there. There's been a few times where they've been quite up. Pre 4.0, they were way down. It was all over the place. Cruel Boys, same fortunes, right? Inconsistency is the name of the game here with these two. They were terrible. They've been pretty good at certain points since the book release. And by pretty good, I mean there was a couple times where these guys actually broke the 55% threshold, each of them for a week or two, just slightly. But for the most part, they were pretty bad and needed a lot of adjustments.
Yeah, I would argue that they were very playable and aggressively pointed in the months following the release of the book, right? That's when I played them, and I took second at an event on a 2-dayer last spring. So I mean, they were fairly good in the ecosystem that they came into, but that didn't make the book good.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, we got our 2 armies of renown out of this, obviously, or whatever. We got it felt a lot of just treading water off of the index. It didn't feel like a very new book. It was a lot of just index regurgitation still. Here we're back at the beginning of the year. We're still just basically reprinting indices. Hades with the super chat saying, I'm Thanky that the assistant manager at my new job plays Warhammer, has a 3D printer, and is printing me an Astraeus tank that I've had the STL for ages. That's pretty awesome. Hey, good stuff. I mean, honest answer, I played this book a lot. Pre current GHB and post. And it almost always felt like, ice skating uphill, right?
Yeah. Some
Now that's from the
people are
Iron Jaw
trying to do
side.
that.
Is the only perspective I have, right? You played the Cruel Boy side more not again
Right.
exclusively. You do have both armies because your son has Iron Jaws,
Yeah.
but I mean, for me, it always felt like a slog. Yes, there was some piggy armies that have done okay. Those have been basically the thing carrying the book at various times, especially post soggy rules, right? But yeah, I honestly, Auric War Clans for me, straight janky. It was an index reprint. It didn't give me what I want. It still doesn't feel that great. When you have to shave like straight 20 to 30% off most of the units in the book to make them playable, well, points wise, that just tells me we didn't get there.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Very good. Next. Gloomspite Gits. Gloomspite. I'm gonna drop this in here real quick. I realized by the by that I forgot something, so I'm gonna fix it real quick here. Hold on. I apologize, everybody. We're just gonna do a little quick surgery on this presentation. We're doing midstream surgery as Vince remembers that he forgot to put a slide in that he meant to put in.
Know what makes for
editing PowerPoints? Yeah, people love that.
And enthralling YouTube.
Absolutely. There we go. Okay, cool. We're back. We're back, folks. We're done. I meant to put in the Nighthaunt slide and forgot. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Gloomspite Gits. We got all our new goblins, Tom. All the new, there they are on the cover. Look at them. We got the Git Mob guys that look like they rode straight out of the old world and into the current game. Okay.
Yeah.
Good looking models. Like their boss guy, amazing model. Okay. And look, editing PowerPoints is relatable content. That's right. That's right, Tori. Everybody knows editing PowerPoints. Okay. So, there they were. Yep. There were those new guys. And yep. They sucked other than that. The army, like, this is again a classic tale of like two armies where we had we had like on one hand the like Squig and Troll side overperforming early in the year. Then post General's Handbook, it just falls off. The goblins have basically always sucked. Git Mob were basically unplayable when they first came out, right? We're all going to mutually pretend like spiders don't exist, even though they still keep putting them back in the book for reasons I cannot fathom. Yeah. So, like, they made a ton of new goblins, and basically all of them were bad. Like, as though they didn't know. They put a bunch of them on chariots, Tom. In an edition where truly, we've talked about how monsters and foot heroes are bad for a long time. And you feel that more because they're prolific, right? Like every army basically has monsters and foot heroes. Chariots are the worst, most worthless unit in the game. They do nothing. They are completely pointless, right? And they basically said, hey, would you like an entire army of that? No. No, I would not. Okay. So that's bad. I mean, the like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this book. It certainly didn't help. Still, again, lots of index reprints other than the new scrolls. Really dumb rules with the moon yet again. Like yet again. Do you remember these? Do you remember these moon rules, Tom?
Yeah.
Like just bad moon rules again. New, different, but bad.
And what's so egregious about it is that, like, I remember playing them, right? Like, I remember playing specifically like these guys, like, like a month after the book dropped, and it was an all chariot army, a couple doom divers, and like he walked through his army, and I was like, okay. And so then I just like pushed forward and just
Right.
lifted like most of it.
Correct. The
Right.
Doom
Like I
Diver
just
is
like,
a super cool unit. That's like the one standout. The Doom Diver is cool.
sure. But if you can get into it, like, yeah, I don't know. It was rough. It was rough for him. And it wasn't really a learning experience for me because it was pushed forward and they died.
Sure.
And
Everything in
so
his army
like,
is made of paper except for the trolls, which are overwhelming attrition bombs that don't die.
right, and this
Like,
is not a judgment on the player, right? Like that's not what that is. That's not what I'm commenting on. I hope you hear that. Like
absolutely.
this is a problem of the army itself.
Yep. Yep. So, I
So
mean,
like, yeah.
it like, yes, there's been a couple of forces that have done okay throughout the year. The new models were great. Like straight up, most of the new models, the chariots were really well designed. The wolves looked really, really good. Like from a model perspective, as usual, they're still killing it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I agree. There you go. Ignatius just hit it. What's annoying for me is that even with the previous books being too strong or too weak, they were at least fun. I haven't had fun with this book. That's like the perfect summarization. New models alone can't put you into Thanky. I'm sorry. They just can't, especially when it's like a weird appendix
True.
on the
Yeah.
army that doesn't even
Yep.
feel like it really belongs with the rest of the army. This
Yep.
one's getting a janky as well. I'm sorry, straight up. Straight jank.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight Jankin.
Straight jankin. All right. Okay. I had to throw this in because it was too funny to me. I had to throw in the Adepticon preview, but we can largely talk about the preview shows all year. Okay, I just grabbed the Adepticon one because it was especially egregious. Now, if you were an Old World fan and you saw Cathay, you were like, whoa, cool stuff here. Okay, right? Like, that was neat. We got to see all of Cathay. That was cool. I mean, what we thought was all of Cathay. Obviously, they had just had a second release previewed recently. But, like, that was pretty great. That was a cool army if you play Old World. Their previews this year, at least from an AOS perspective, have been so underwhelming. Like, Tom, on this picture, show me the AOS reveal.
It was the it was it the Doom? No, not the Doom Bowl. So it would have had to have been the no, it was is that the Ideneth thing at the end?
No, that's a Tyranid thing. That's from the Kill Team.
Yep, nope.
The answer is it's not present. Trick question. Okay. What? Like all of the again, I'm speaking mostly from an AOS perspective. Maybe some 40K players.
As a major game line though, that shouldn't have happened.
Right. The previews this year have been so underwhelming from an AOS perspective. Like everything we've seen has just been stuff we basically knew was there. Nothing surprising, nothing interesting, absolutely underwhelming. I went to that Adepticon preview and I stood in the back of it, like I was in the back of the auditorium, just standing there.
Yep.
And it finished, and I was standing next to one of the GW guys, and I was like, "You for real? That's what you got?" That Cathay thing looks pretty awesome. Do you guys still make AOS, or did you decide to cancel that line? Right? Like, what? Yes,
No
yes,
response.
Rocket. No, I mean, just laughed or whatever. But, yes, wasn't Adepticon just 4 spearheads and the seasonal spearhead box? Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
It wasn't. Yes. So all previews this year, again, from an AOS perspective, I'm sure maybe 40K players might have felt differently. They're always getting tons of weird stuff.
Sure.
But from an AOS perspective, janky. Straight janky on all those. Do better. Be better. Okay. Alex says, glad I didn't come early to A-Con to see that. I mean, again, if you're like an Old World fan, man, people went nuts for Cathay, and I understand why. right? Like, because it was cool.
Mhm,
It was cool.
mhm.
But I could have played a whole nother Commander game in that time when I was watching that waste of a time preview. So there you go.
Wild.
Uh, there you go. Okay. Night Haunt. Let's talk about him here. We're going to talk about Night Haunt and FEC here on this little thing. This is my reminder scroll that I threw in and forgot to, that I just did because I forgot to do that earlier. I was like, go back and make sure you get the Night Haunt scroll. And then the dog peed on the floor. And,
Yep.
well, then I forgot. So sorry,
then-
everybody.
And then we're here.
And then we're here because, that's what happens in my life. That's my life now. Chasing around a tiny, adorable monster that wants to pee everywhere. At any rate, let's talk about Night Haunt. So this was real bad, right? We'll do Night Haunt first.
Yep.
Okay. Like, I'm not mistaken. We tried to like figure out what was actually good about this, and we tried to find any good stuff in it. But man, does this feels like just the biggest miss of the year. Is this
It was just so weird.
Let's just say straight out, this was janky. We changed all the rules.
Yes.
How ethereal work changed.
Yep.
It's crappy.
Yep.
Your troops got a bunch of wounds, but they're all made of paper now. Everything dies super easy. There's tons of things in the game that cut through wards anyways. So like you just often get like shredded because you're running around. Most of your army just has t-shirts on, literally.
Yep.
2 to 3 of the like biggest bads in the meta right now just shred ward saves like it's going out of style. Okay, like they pretend like ward saves just don't exist, or they do such high multi damage that it's just okay, your ward save isn't going to do enough to stop you, right? Because they're swinging in with massive 5, 6, 4, 5 damage attacks, and this army is just bad. It's not fun at all to play. I mean, it was never fun. It was always a big NPE army and continues to I mean, I guess it's more fun to play against now because you get to kill everything. But I mean, this army just felt terrible reading the book. It was depressing. Like, is this the jankiest of the year? It's certainly a candidate. This is in the running for jank of the year, right?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, truly.
Yeah.
Like it was just so disappointing. And like I think this is particularly egregious anytime like you have a really good army that gets a new book that's bad.
Yeah.
And like it's just so painful given that we just got a new terrain piece and you're like, yay. And then you read it and you're like, boo.
Yes.
Right? Like that is the definition of what the experience was.
Yeah, I mean 100%. So, yeah, I mean just like this is straight jank. I don't know what else to say about it. Okay? So, there you go.
There is no sugarcoating this.
No, a player took third in a GT recently playing Night Haunt with 3 reinforced unit of Banshees, and I have no idea how. That's a great player right there. ZK says, between the not fun War Clans, the not fun Gloomspite, now the not fun Night Haunt, do they have people interested in playing the armies to write them? I mean, I don't know, man. They took a big swing on this. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but boy, did they not get there. Like, I get it. They were trying to solve the NPE problem that Night Haunt's just like a real slog to play against.
Yeah.
But they went, the thing just went so far the other
But
direction.
it's just not there. Like, that's part of the problem is that, like, it just sucks.
Yep. Exactly. So, all right, let's talk about an army that was fun. We'll get rid of these guys. Let's bring in the other dudes here. There you go. FEC, Flesh Eater Courts. So this book got a whole new, really fun mechanic, right? Talk about stripping out and replacing mechanics. You have your delusion now, right? Yep. Based on like the heroes that you're in, you can switch around your delusions. You get like this massive toolbox you get to play with all the time. We still have the problem that old Big Oosh feels real essential because he's the one that lets you like play reliably with your delusions to some
Yep.
degree. He's basically, depending on what you're trying to do, he's either 100% reliable or 84% reliable. So there you go. But like those were great. Those are super cool design, very fun. The units for the most part all got interesting touch-ups and redesigns. There's some like really good units in the book that like kind of got a bit of a touch of a redesign. It's clear they actually went through and paid some attention to stuff. Um like what are they? Crypt honkers. Like I love a new crypt honker. All about those guys, right? Crypt ghouls can be really good. Tons of the heroes are super valuable because of the delusion that they bring. So like that's great. Blastmeister says you also kind of get the battle tactic analysis paralysis thing every turn. You're not wrong. Like that is true. Okay. Like you have to when you can switch between 5 different delusions or 7 different delusions, you know, depending on how you build your army or whatever. It can be a little bit of like a choice paralysis. But if you're somebody who likes having those options, it's pretty cool. And I will say, if you've got Oosh and you just like have one you want to ride on, he does let you basically just do that. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't have to be making those choices. I don't know. What do you like? You play FEC some, right? So what'd you think of this?
I do. You know, what I'll say is this: it is a very interesting like pivot in the mechanics, and I think that overall they did well. Like it feels good, it feels right. Yeah, I haven't chosen to like reinvest in the army, but it is one that at least like enticed me.
Yeah, I've played against them several times since their new book. Since, you know, one of my Brendan has his FEC, and so I play against them pretty often. Which means not only am I playing against a really good army, but I'm playing against a really good army with a really good pilot, which is kind of annoying, but also great at the same time. And honestly, it's been fun to play against. Like I've had a good time. So, lots of different viable lists, lots of different interesting balance. This is a Thanky all the way. I think FEC was a tremendous success, right? So there you go. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the thing. Okay, cool, good. See, we got one that was good. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, next up, let's keep that undead train a rolling. Soulblight Gravelords. Is this the real cover?
It's so bad.
I pulled this out of Warhammer Community. I had to remember whether or not I actually got this from Warhammer Community because I looked at the cover and was like, is that a joke? Is that a joke cover? Did somebody make that as a joke? That looks like a joke cover. Like,
it's so bad.
Wow. Okay. Anyways, Soulblight. Obviously some interesting new things going on with Soulblight. Not huge changes, I will say, overall. But some interesting stuff. We got some fun things. We got new, you know, Big Prince Vorderai coming in. So he's a cool dude. Certainly very interesting. You know, we got some things. Got some things. They got their terrain piece. That's exciting. Just like Nighthaunt. I didn't even mention it with Nighthaunt because it wasn't worth mentioning in the army because it didn't matter. Soulblight's terrain pieces and how they can work is interesting. We got a couple of fun armies of renown, even though one of them didn't work initially because of the way the points were construed. You couldn't actually like, you had to stop building the army at like 1,740 points or 60 points or something. You just like, that was the most you could build because then you just ran out of units you could fit in. You just had like an eighth of your army missing. But that's been fixed since then as they adjusted points. So that's nice. The other army is also really cool. The like skeletal Barrow Guard one. Barrow Knights were absolute just monsters coming out of the gate here. Yeah, like good new models. Overall, pretty decent. Pretty decent. What's your take on? Oh, they were very bad for Blood Knights. Yes, the original points that needed some work on a few units. Wasn't book wide, but there was some.
Like it felt very like mono design is the best way I can describe it.
All right.
Like I don't know, like it's just fine. I don't know. Like I just
Is this going to
I
be a
don't being
split decision for us? Could be.
yeah,
Where are you
maybe.
coming down?
I think it's janky. I just wanted more out of it.
Okay. Okay.
Like I like the Barrow. I don't know. It's tough. No, I think it's janky.
Okay.
Like I have like here's the measure of it. Did I actually consider playing my Soul Blight that I have an entire army of?
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't. And
Okay.
if they drop a book that I have an army for, and I look at it and go meh, then it's probably janky.
I mean, that's a perfectly fair metric, I will say. For me, I'm going to say this one comes down Thanky. It's one of the
Okay,
weaker Thankies, honestly,
sure,
for me.
sure,
But I'm going to give it to it. I'm going to give it to it. I think it
okay,
was okay.
okay,
I mean, I think it could have been a lot better. I'm at probably like, this is a classic 51-49 for me.
sure, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Where I'm like, there's a lot of problems, but I just don't feel like they're mortally wounded. Like it was pretty good, but the opportunities were clear, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like Gloomspite bad. I just can't put it in the same
Sure,
category. Right.
sure, sure.
But that's okay. We can have a split decision every year. It's always interesting to see where we differ. Also, to be fair,
Yeah.
I'm judging that from the outside. I don't play this army. So that
Right.
you're absolutely
Right.
right. That like I can afford to be more generous with it because I'm not an active player of the army. So there you go. Okay. As we're going on, you know what we're super thanky for? All of you being here. Thank you to everybody who's
Mhm.
super chatted, who's
Sure.
commenting. Don't forget to hit like, you know, click things that make dings, do all the cool stuff. Awesome. All right. So if you haven't already clicked, what are you doing? Okay. Don't be janky, be thanky. Now, Tom, the Scourge of Gairan. This was actually really hard to figure out what dumb image I was going to use for this because it was like 26 articles or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And all of them just had really stupid pictures, but I found this one little thing of the book they were reading from, and I was like, okay, it's like 225 by 225 or something, and so I had to blow it way up, and it's all garbage, but that's fine. The soggy rules. We got, for the most part, great, interesting options for a lot of
Mhm.
armies that have seen tons of play. There were a couple very clear misses amongst there, but
Mhm.
honestly, it was probably just a couple, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Most armies got stuff they want to use. Whether it be like the Nighthaunt Black Coach, the Skaven got their new Brood Terror, who I love,
Mhm.
right? And the new
Mhm.
Soggy Bell, both of which are just A plus units, and on and on and
Yep.
on, right? We could go on and on with tons of other additional units. And I don't know, man. I think Scourge of Gairan is maybe one of the biggest successes of the year.
Yeah, I would say so. I like there's just so much there.
Yeah.
There
In
really
almost
is.
every list
Like,
I build, I use something out of the Soggy rules, right?
yeah, yeah, agreed.
Like,
Yeah. There's a lot there.
yeah. Uh, you know, like exactly. Tori said Skaven made out like bandits that took the army from not fun to fun. I just think Scourge was great. This is the kind of thing they need to do more of. All this
Mhm.
showed me was, oh, they can make really fun, interesting rules that are additions to the base stuff. It's the book
Mhm.
cycle that's killing the game
Yes. Yes.
because
Yeah.
they can't be responsive. They're writing the book 18 months before it comes out. They have no idea what the world looks like, what the meta looks like, what the players want. They can't be responsive to the actual needs of the audience. Whereas with the soggy rules, they could work on them, you know, basically up until a couple weeks before they were published. I mean, they've got to have translation and stuff like that. So they've probably got like a 4-week window where they've got
Mhm.
to lock the rules before they actually go live and publish. So basically, they could have been working on Scourge rules up until April, right?
Wow. Yeah.
That's hot and ready rules right there. Um, so like what this tells me is we need more Scourge of Gairan. This is the path forward. They should be doing. They should just have solid plans for a thing like this every year. Period.
Wouldn't that be just amazing?
Yeah. Yes. Like this bought so much goodwill from the player base. It reinvigorated people. It gave them new interesting things to play with. It brought units off the shelf. It took whole armies from like a slog to play with to fun. Oh, and they did it all through free PDFs.
Yep.
Like people went out and bought model kits because of these rules. They made money off of this. Okay. This tells me this is the way. Right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, what are we doing? Thanky. Big thanky. Okay.
Yep.
Next up. Well, we talked about Soggy. It's time to talk about General's Handbook 2025-2026. Look, Tom, you got little, you get little mats. They're little, you get little thingies. You get thingies. Objective thingies. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, I like the objective things. Those were neat.
They're nice. They're nice. Yeah.
I like things.
Sure. Absolutely. We had our new battle plans. We had our new battle tactics. We had our little objective marker thingies in the box. We had some new manifestation rules, which were basically the old ones, but with some minor changes to just confuse you and make it annoying because they keep minorly changing them in ways that you're never going to remember.
Never.
Right.
Never remember.
Because it's always the minorest tweak, and I'm like, nah, you've changed this thing. You've minorly tweaked this thing 6 times. I do not remember which version we're on anymore. It's all bled together. Manifestation rules are all just like a weird soup in my head of like, got it. That one kind of attacks and does stuff and causes this penalty, I think. Anyways. What'd you think, Tom? What'd you think of General's Handbook 2025-26?
I liked it initially.
Okay. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I did not like the new realization of tactics or the attempt, the new bite at the apple. Like initially I was interested in willing.
Okay.
Going into that.
Moving them into list building, having them be things you're trying to basically complete sort of over 3 rounds of the game instead of every round. Yeah, sure.
Yep. But once the rubber met the road, I fell out of love with it very quickly. Very quickly.
Okay.
Because it felt in some sense like it was no less and here's what I'm gonna put my finger on. It felt no less constrained than the prior pick 5 over 5 turns.
Sure.
Right? Because now it's do these 2 this turn. If you can't, do these 2 next turn. Same 2.
Yeah. I mean, effectively, you're trying to do 6 things over the course of the game, right?
Right. But you're only ever trying to do 2 at any one time. And you never, like, there's no, like, if it wasn't a good time to do it last turn, it may still not be a good time to do it this turn. Right. And so it really, it felt to me like it was not an additive. It was a constraint on play.
It certainly affected list building, which okay, that is true. It added an element to list building where you had to think deeply about it. It was highly impactful. I'll say that.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Let's break this into some constituent parts because I think the battle tactic discussion is interesting, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about the battle plans themselves first.
Okay.
Okay. What'd you think of the battle plans?
They seem fine. They seem fairly well balanced. They seem to incentivize like spread. I mean, there were a couple really crazy ones, right, that are super swingy and they probably should mean competitive play. But in general, like it was a nice suite of general types of things that you're trying to accomplish.
Sure. Okay, here's my statement. I think the battle plans were one of the better crops we've seen of
Okay.
battle plans, with one exception. Like
Okay.
overall, I would rate them very
Sure.
highly. It is American Thanksgiving, Frank Baker. That is right. Well, it will be tomorrow, I guess, or it will be in 2 hours, where I currently am sitting. The one exception is there's probably 4 battle plans with some real silly underdog rules. Underdog itself is pretty silly,
Mm-hmm.
and those rules really exacerbate it. Like, it's meant to be in general a catch-up mechanic, right?
Yep.
I do not actually think that's how they work on some of those. Some of those, it's such an overwhelming strength that you're like trying to play 2 points down, right? But that's pretty minor. I thought the battle plans overall, like I've played through all of them now multiple times, and 11 out of 12 of them I could play tomorrow and be perfectly happy. Okay.
Okay.
So to me, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, I think some of the underdog stuff is a little silly, but it's not like breaking. It doesn't break it for me. It's just like, well, okay, I have to like really change the way I play because of the underdog rule, which is strange, I suppose. Like
Sure.
suddenly I don't want to stand on the objectives because reasons or whatever. So, all right, that feels like a weird contrivance, but here we are. All right, so I think battle plans, which are like one of the major things, good. Second thing I'll say is we didn't have like a huge bolt-on rule system with this season.
Sure. Sure.
Right? I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it's probably good, but I'm not sure. Where do you land on that? We've had like for General's Handbook after General's Handbook, we've had big weird bolt-on rules, right? Where it's like this season, this crazy thing happens. You cast spells on 1,000,000 dice. Monsters do 17 damage, but also have neg 42 to save. It's like, wait, what is happening? Right? So we've had all that kind of stuff going on for a while. This season, it was like, nah, we're not doing any of that. What'd you think of that?
Because the tactics were a significant enough change, I don't think that we could have properly evaluated rules. Like, I think that
Like seasonal rules.
they were smart. Like they were smart to not do season rules because the tactics were so heavy. Like the tactics change was so heavy. And so in general, I am pro heavy rules or like moderate rules changes for these.
Okay.
But I felt like we got that in the tactics. Had they done both, it would have felt way too heavy.
Okay. That's fair. Would you like to see when we get a new GHB next year, in the coming year, in 2026? Would you like to see them have a seasonal rule overlay again?
Yeah.
Okay. Minor
so.
or big?
Moderate.
Okay.
Like I am
How much of your army? Here's a good way to define. Okay, let's put this metric on it. What percentage of your army is decided by the seasonal rule? Like the units you take. You understand what I'm saying?
30%.
That's pretty big. That's pretty big. What percentage of your army that you take right now is decided by battle tactics?
Most of it.
Like more than 50? Are you making a choice of what more than 50% of your army is? Based on the battle
I would probably
tactics?
say maybe 50% is based on battle tactics.
Okay. I would believe that. I would believe anywhere between like 25 and 50 would be my honest answer, depending on like what your battle tactics are and how like if you're one of those armies that just like can take the two I kill everything and win more battle tactics, right? Then it's probably not too determinative because you were probably taking the units that are just going to go kill the enemy anyways, right? So that's why I'm giving the lower percentage. Whereas some armies, it can be like highly determinative. Probably half of your choices are about just like being able to run the tables, right? Oftentimes with like scouts and stuff like that, but that's not the only one. That's just the easiest explanation. Okay. So, I mean, that's heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the battle tactics. I'm glad they made the change. I think this was a direct improvement over the old system. I'll start there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would this have been better if you just had one? If you picked one battle tactic, okay, and over the course of the game you were trying to do the three things, would that be better or worse? What do you think? I mean, I know where my answer is.
I think it would be worse.
Okay, interesting. I think it'd be better. I think I'd like it more if I had just like, here's my secondary things I'm trying to do over the course of this game. Right?
Yeah, but it would be easier to get shut out, right? Like there could just like the other player could play in such a way as to just literally shut you down. Where
Maybe.
when you have two, when you have two, you at least have like an out to play to.
Maybe. I'm sure somebody else's pushback would be it would be too easy to get all three every time, and then it wouldn't differentiate for tournament rankings, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know which one of those are very opposite points.
Yeah. Which of those worlds do you want to live in?
Yeah. To me, it just feels like cleaner from a mental load perspective if I just have one set of secondary things and I can just say,
I think that's
oh, I'm trying to get your gold. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, I still think some of them, like some of their step threes would be really hard to do. Right. And, you know, we did the stats breakdown a couple months back and like looking at them, what was it, 4 or 5 months in? They were all within plus or minus 3 percentage points off the center on choosing.
Yeah.
Right. So that shows that they were at least pretty balanced. We got to give them full credit there. Right. If the pick rate difference between the highest and lowest was 53 and 47, which is what the pick rate difference was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That tells me those are 6 pretty balanced choices. There ain't an internal balance unit measure in the world that looks like that. Right? No book, not even Sons of Bama with their 5 units or 6 units or whatever have that kind of balance. Right? So I think that's a success. But you know what's funny? Over the intervening time, I too have become very frustrated with battle tactics. And I think I struggle to articulate why. Okay? I think I've got a bunch of little issues with them, but I'm not sure it amounts to anything. But like something just rubs me the wrong way. I can't explain what it is. Really. Maybe it's a little bit of like I don't want to have to consider these things in my list and take different units. Like I'd like to just take the units that I like and play a game of Warhammer and use those units and try to win the game. Right?
Yeah.
But like they are so strong. If you just take whatever, and then try to play into the battle tactics, you just lose. You're just down like 15 points, right? You're starting the game 0 to 15 or something. So that sucks. I feel like I'm oftentimes chasing them, and they're making me act in weird ways that I don't ultimately love. I still think in the end, they're probably just like too much. They're more than I'm looking for out of what is effectively my tertiary objective.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Scoring wise, they're like 60% of the score of the normal points.
Okay.
Right. That's another good point. Thank you, Alex. My issue with battle tactics is every game feels the same, always rushing my scouts forward, etc. Yeah. And then Haiti said it makes lists way more predictable and cookie cutter. I think those are both really good points. Right?
I agree. Yep.
I think probably it's a little bit of all of that. Like it's sort of a death by 1,000 cuts is what's been getting to me with the battle tactics. And that's tough. Because I think if you just played every so often, you probably wouldn't care. They'd probably be way better and you wouldn't see any of the downsides. If you play a lot, like, you know, it's been, I haven't gotten to play as much as I want recently, but, you know, for most of this since this GHB came out, I've played like 2 or 3 games a week.
Sure.
Right. And I don't know, man, that statement about making them feel the same, boy, do I feel that. where it's
Yep.
like, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing, right?
I agree. I agree. I mean, and this is what I'm saying, that like it constrains my play.
Yeah. Ultimately, they do feel like more of a constraint than an enabler. CW said this isn't battle tactics, it's that the season is too long. I mean, maybe. Like if we were about to get different battle tactics, maybe that would be interesting. It's like a lot of those other problems I said would still be there. But it would
Sure.
tackle the like but then you've got the pace of change is too fast. Like if somebody plays once every 2 months or 3 months or
Hmm.
whatever, they're not going to notice. They've played like 5 games or 4 games since the GHB came out.
Yep.
Right? They don't notice. They're like, yeah, this all seems fine. Whereas if I'm playing, 8 to 12 games a month or whatever, that's like I will really feel that much quicker, right? And I don't even play as much as some people. Like some people who are really hardcore grinders, like using TTS and crap, right? Where they're getting in, a dozen games a week. I'm just like, good lord. Okay. Sure. Stacking limit, we're going to do a show about that sometime in the future. I don't know when, maybe towards the end of the year.
Mm.
Alex says, yeah, I'm already feeling the burnout of the season that I was feeling last May with the previous season. Yeah. I average a game or 2 per GHB. I think that's most people's average. Oh, Hades, I think that's exactly most people's average. I think, yes. I think the average is probably a game a quarter. Right? So they get maybe 3 to 4 games in a year. Right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you can design a set of things that are going to be just as interesting to me on the 60th time that also work for somebody playing their 3rd game. I just don't know. Right? But what I know is whenever I play without them, I enjoy the game more. When I just turn them off and we don't use them, I'm like, oh, okay, this feels fine. I was good.
Yeah, agreed. The game really does feel great without the battle tactics.
Right. Like I'm still trying to your primary objective is kill the enemy. Your secondary objective is stand on circles. I don't need to be doing this much work for a tertiary objective. That's ultimately what I think. So, okay. So where do we come down? That was a lot of discussion on the GHB, but where do we come down, Tom? Ultimately, with all of that, Thanky or Janky?
Janky. It de-incentivized me to play.
Okay, interesting.
Like once I got into it, like I appreciate the swing, right? I appreciate the swing at I appreciate the swing at
Something new, something different, trying to reinvent.
something new, something different, right?
Yeah.
Like I do appreciate that. But it just didn't hit for me.
I'm going to give it a Thanky. And that's
Okay.
because of, I think, the scenarios, which are like actually the main reason that the main thing the GHB is about. I think those are really good. I really do think this is like the best crop of the best crop of like
Can I
of
say
battle
something
plans we've had so
contentious?
far. Sure, go for it. Yes, that's the whole point
I
of
think
this.
Soggy was more beneficial and enticing to the game than the GHB was.
That's not contentious. That's just fact. It's not even close. Like I'm giving the GHB a Thanky. Like let's call it, like if you asked me to like rate my percentage, I'd be like a 5.5 out of 10, right? And on the Thanky side.
Yeah.
Whereas Soggy, I'm at like a 8.5, 9. I mean, it's not even close. Soggy made me want to play more right away and different armies and new lists and do fun things. The GHB did not do any of that. It was like a perfectly fine facilitation of the game.
Yeah.
CW says you still have that order backwards, Vince. It's stand on circles first, then kill. I mean, look, one, you're not wrong, but I refuse to admit that because I play Warhammer to go kill my enemies. But, like, you're not wrong. There you go. Thanky as it broke up the hammer meta. It did do that. That is true. That is true. We were in an awful hammer meta before. I have never seen a meta shift harder. than when this GHB came out, right? It was like, it went from like all big crazy hammer lists to those lists were dead in the water the next day.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah. And that's fair. Like, so I'm going to overall come down Thanky. I think the battle plans were good. I think the battle tactic change was a move in the right direction. I think we missed slightly, but I don't think it was terrible. That's what I'll say. So all in all, Thanky for me on the GHB. Again, 55%, 60% maybe, somewhere in that range. Okay. All right. Next up, the Cities of Sigmar proxies they were nice enough to release. I think they called these Grand Cathay. But no, just like I wanted to talk a little old world because, why not?
Sure.
Especially when there's like easy crossover like this. These guys are been a terror in the old world game, by the by, because the balloons. I don't know if you pay any attention to the old world meta, but yeah, the balloons are real good. At any rate, I'm mostly evaluating these guys on model range. Can I just say, I think the Cathay old world dudes are some of the most beautiful models they've made in a long, long time. I think these were gorgeous, like top to bottom. I think this was an absolute stunner of an army. And again, even though it is old world, I'm thanky that it exists because it does, like, the joke aside, it really is a great proxy for a Cities of Sigmar army, especially now with the reinforcements. You really do have your full choice. You can run kind of anything you'd want. And I think they're wonderful. Models are good. I haven't got to play against them in the old world yet. I don't know anybody who has this army in the old world, so I haven't played an old world game against them. Probably a good thing, I suppose. But yeah, so like I'm kind of rules independent here. But again, from an AOS player's perspective, I'm super thanky. I want to see old world be healthy. I want to see them get awesome new models. So yeah, there you go. Any thoughts on that one? Just a quick nod in this direction. Oh my God, Hades, you're absolutely right. He said it gives him so much hope for Kislev. Yes. Where is the Tsarina? I assume there's still a Tsarina in this time period. I don't know. Or a Tsar. I'm not sure.
Imagine Kislev. Right.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Give me some brand new horse archers, like running around. They look incredible. Some bear cavalry. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
It'll be great.
That's hot.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So what'd you think overall of this? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
For Cathay, in old world, yeah, I agree. I want old world to thrive, right? Like I want it to be successful. I want it to be something that is valuable and that's celebrated. And I want to see what new armies that they release.
Agreed. Like, I mean, we could get that Vampire Coast. It could happen. I don't know if they actually went over there and did that yet at this point. Because again, we're in the past.
Imagine that.
2230 or something like that. I know, right?
Wild.
Ruckett says there's a Tsarina right now according to the Old World Core rulebook. Okay, cool. Oh, don't worry, Tori. We're going to talk about that. That'll come up. Yes. Okay. So I agree. Big thanky on the Cathay. Beautiful models. Great stuff. Good proxies. Wonderful. Okay. Next up, we're back to the books, Tom. It's Idneth Deepkin. This book happened. It certainly did.
Did it?
It did. You remember? We both forgot it. I forgot it when they listed off the armies at the beginning of the show. So technically we had 9 this year, which is still not enough. It's still a third, basically. Yeah. When the thing that happened, and Idneth certainly was a book that was released this year. That we can say with a surety. Yet again, we pitched the old Tides rule, which is fine, and put in this weird new system. Okay. I don't know. I think maybe Dino kind of likes playing this army still a little, but even he's been off it, and he's like the biggest IDK stan. So, our old friend Konstantinos. What was this book? What did this do anything? Did anyone care? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Idneth Sleepkin. There it is. Oh my God. Like, yeah, I'm grateful that we changed and got rid of like the just on turn 3. The whole army is playing for turn 3. Hi, Vidar. But man, was this book just a snoozer. There's like nothing interesting here, right? All their cool, interesting builds got killed. Yeah.
Yep.
They replaced it with nothing. They like this thing just like was a rag with all the juice just like squeezed out of it, and then they threw a dry rag at you, which is ironic because it's a wet book. But here we are. I mean, right? Was there anything in here?
No. No, it was lackluster.
This has to be, even if it's not the jankiest of the year, this has to take the title for most boring release of the year, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So, I guess
it was
great
just
job.
not interesting.
No, absolutely. There was absolutely nothing in here. I think that even for IDK players that they were like, other than maybe a little bit of turtle related action, where people were like, yay, I'm happy about something. It was literally just the turtle thing. Alex says he's assembling his turtle as he speaks. Oh, that's funny. There you go. So janky, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Turtle, good. Everything else, jank. All right, great. Here we go. Caradron Overlords. Yup. We got 2 new units. Both of whom were desperately needed and filled pretty important roles. We got some just crazy good rules. The army was already an NPE thing, often to play against to some degree. In any of its, it was either bad or NPE. You either wipe the entire pre-book. You either just wipe the entire army out because they had no shooting, or they played like the most ridiculous NPE game where they could jump around and get away from you, and you never actually got to charge them unless you had the fastest units in the world, right?
Yep.
And then they released this book, and they shot to like 63% win rate. We did discuss the Death Battle Tomes, Uber. Our ratings were we split on Soul Blight. I was Thanky, Tom was Janky. We both agreed Flesh Eater, big Thanky, Night Haunt, big Janky. There you go. So, you know, Caradron this has got to be the one book. They got a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of new rules, a bunch of new builds, and they've just been broken. This army has been broken, right? It's the rare case of janky in the other direction. I think that's my take. What's your take?
Well, what I'll say is it got my attention.
Yeah, sure. I bet.
And it made me want to play.
Yeah.
Get out my old models. But I would say more importantly, it made me want to paint new models.
Yeah, sure. The new models were pretty great.
They were great. Like I wanted reinforced units of both of them, right?
Yep.
The fact is that the new terrain piece, as weird and as janky as it is, like I love it. Like I love.
It's very strong and very cool.
It's very strong and very cool, and so I like. For me, I'm thanky for it. Like this is it felt like this is the first time that they've gotten KO closer to right.
Because might have overshot just a bit, but sure. Yeah.
But it's been bad for like 4 years.
Sure.
Like legitimately, it's been bad.
I understand.
And so I don't know. Like I hear the concern.
I hear your concern, and I do not care. As a player of this army, I will revel in the fact that I get to enjoy some time of being a bit bent until they eventually rein it back in, right?
Yep.
Okay. So are you giving a thank you for Caradron? I mean, here's what I'll say.
Yeah, I am.
Which is fair. On the bright side of it, I will say it really did engender a lot of new builds and options and stuff like that. Like a lot of things became interesting to play with here in different ways, which is cool, right? That I am very supportive of. I feel like there is probably a way to tone this thing down and get it back into a power level that isn't just absolutely crippling. But this has always been one of the 2 hardest armies to balance, right?
Yeah.
Like this
Because
and
they're trying
Sons
to
of
do something
Badmont are the
crazy.
hardest armies to balance. Yes, because they're both doing something completely insane.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to come down on Jank just because of the brokenness. I've played against this
Sure.
army too many times and gotten shot off the table. I'm scarred. I'm deeply scarred. Okay.
Sure.
That's all it
Sure.
is.
No
Yeah,
judgment. I get it.
but a split decision is totally fair. Gator Dave says they'll need to let a little bit of air out of the balloon. Yes, indeed. Got to float back down to earth here, boys. A little bit. Flying too high. Flying too high. Okay. The Blah Days of Corn. Yet again, a tale of two cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Yet another hilarious army of renown when this released, where you couldn't actually. You were even worse. It was like you were like 1,600 points because you couldn't take another Bloodthirster. They just didn't fit in your all Bloodthirster army. Not to mention a mechanic that just didn't work. It was just dumb. Like it did not work. It was basically impossible. And on the whole, you know, you've got this really weird new blood tithe mechanic instead of the normal table that we've had forever and ever, where you just spend the points. Now you have this like weird increasing thing, and you got yourself into a situation where you were trying to like literally. We're back to trying to execute one of your own units on turn one. Okay.
Sure.
And if you remember, Tom, there has been multiple points in KO's history where that was the battle plan. Right? You like at the top of one, you need to get one of your units killed. Right? Through by hook or crook, by sacrifice or enemy combat or whatever. You were trying to get these guys dead. Which is always very funny to me. You know, in games like Magic, you have so many different strategies to victory, right? Like killing your own stuff. There are many decks where just like sacrificing your own stuff is the strategy.
The right answer.
Right? Yes. That's the whole strat. Okay. AOS is much thinner in what it allows you to accomplish as like paths to victory, right? And so I always thought instead of fighting this, they should have just leaned into it. They should just make it so, you know, Corn is like actively killing itself and getting benefits from that. Just like, just let your own dudes kill your own dudes regularly.
Sure.
But anyways,
it's fun.
Yeah. So, but you know, overall, what did I miss on Blades of Corn? What did you think about this overall? Oh, sorry, and the best AOR of the year, which had to get nerfed, but that's stupid. Like they nerfed it too hard in a bad way, but I still play. I'd still play it. I love their AOR. The all hero AOR is great. The they nerfed it down to where it's just utter garbage now, which is a shame because they could have done a few other things that we had recommended for changes, and it would have still been playable, but not amazing. It was like way too strong when it came out, but I still think it's a great AOR. It's just like so legitimately so much fun to play. In the all like just slaughter heroes is fantastic. It just in the same way I've played my S2D all hero army a bunch, and man, do I love it. Right. So, okay. Yes, I agree, Tori. Nerfing the AOR was coward's work. Yes. Correct statement. All right. There we go. What'd you think about Blades of Corn?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was like it was interesting. It was playable.
Sure. We had some points challenges out of the gate, but we have since corrected those. They weren't crippling. They weren't like 30% adjustments, but there was a good number of 10% adjustments. Let's be fair. But yes, it was playable. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was at the end of the day for me, like it was interesting. It was engaging.
Okay. You coming down Thanky on it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think so too.
Like 60-40 maybe.
Yeah, I think that's probably about where I am. I think you and I are in about the same place here. At this point now, you can take all the Bloodthirsters. You're not screwed on points anymore. Like we fixed that, just like we did with the Soul Blight one. So we got two really fun armies of renown in here. The new like system of spending your points is a little weird, although they did fix it. Like we did get a fix there as well into how it works when you can like pick your thing. So now you're not trying to necessarily just like, you know, if you get given the top of one, you're not just completely screwed anymore or whatever. So that kind of stuff has been tooled up. Basically those are what I would have called proud nails, when the book launched. They pretty quickly corrected them, and it's a tough book to play. It's one of the weaker books in the meta. Okay, like it is kind of weak, but overall, it's pretty fun. This is another army I have played against multiple times. It's not. It does not have good internal balance. Okay, I will say that.
Sure.
I you know what? 101, I really couldn't tell you. Like in earlier editions where the codice is so badly edited, yes. Oh my god. What editing? They didn't do that. They did not until basically a couple editions back of AOS. They did not have any kind of formal playtesting. That was an early, like, what was it? When did that start? Like second edition, basically, I think. Right before second edition, like leading up to second is when I think they formed the first playtesting group. And even then it was real small. It was like 6 people. Before then, no, they just wrote stuff. Going all the way back to Warhammer Fantasy, they just wrote stuff. And we're like, yeah, looks good. Close enough.
Yeah, we'll do this.
No formal development, no formal playtesting. You know, that's all recent developments. Now they're very data driven and all of that. But you still, I think the armies are renowned. I think nobody cares. I think they test the main book and they just don't really pay much attention to the armies are renowned. It just becomes extraneous.
Correct. I think armies are renowned are just extra thoughts. Like they aren't the main of the plane.
Yeah. So I think this is one of those things where I am Thanky. There's some very clear problems. I think you're right. It's about 60-40, right? I could have been a lot better. We can all see some paths to make it better, but overall still breaks out. Yeah. Thanky. And and with some extra touches and love, we got to a decent place. All right, here I have the War of Cetra's Fury, another old world thing. This is the Arcane Journal. This book rules. Okay. Yeah. For everything it has in it. First of all, it's called the War of Cetra's Fury. I don't know what more you could want out of life. This is clearly the greatest book ever published in the history of Warhammer. Right there, it has Cetra's name on the cover. But the Lord of the Four Winds, the Hawk of the Desert, the Golden Hawk of the Desert. Sorry, I apologize. The only man with more titles than Archeon, right? He's got to have like a whole guy dedicated to just showing up and reading his titles. Amazing. But it had supplements for like multiple different armies, new scenarios, narrative supplements, and stuff like that. Yeah, this is great. New army. What's their version of Armies of Renown? We're in here. This is a great book. The reason I really put it in here was because, yet again, this is the better release path. I am very jealous of the old world right now, not for their meta, which is like kind of in a bad place.
Sure.
It's not terrible, but it ain't great. But I am jealous of them for their release strategy. The like starting the edition where it's just like, here you go. Here's all the army's rules in a couple of big books. And then we're going to release these arcane journals that like wildly expand what you can do with multiple armies per book. Yep. Give us an excuse to release figs. Let us put out new scenarios. Let us put out new Armies of Renown. Let us put out new narrative content.
Yep.
This is so
sexy.
Good. It really is.
I really wish we had something that was doing something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Like, if they're going to keep up with the battle tomes, I don't care. I still wish they do this kind of thing. I wish these books, like, even if we still had our normal battle tome release, we should be getting, like, the equivalent of these arcane journals, like 2 to 3 a year.
Yeah.
It would just be so good. They could touch up multiple armies that need it. They could add some stuff. They could, you know, put in some alternate scrolls. They could add in some new Armies of Renown. We could have different alternative battle tactics or terrain rules or scenarios. We could have a million different things. Or we could get nothing. That would also be a choice. I guess we could do that too. All of that. What is it? You got to weigh your soul against the feather, right? Whichever one's heavier, right? Okay. On the Egyptian theme there.
Yep.
Tom, do you think your soul weighs more or less than a feather?
I don't think my soul weighs anything.
So you're saying you're feeling pretty confident.
Well,
So if
no,
if
let me
you
say this.
die,
I think it weighs more than a feather.
okay, so you're screwed then, because it's supposed to
Well,
be the feather's supposed to be heavier.
I know, but
Okay,
but because of my own kind of um epistemology is not the word I'm looking for. Um because of my own
thoughts, habits, life
thoughts.
experiences.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
exactly. My own like commitments, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My own commitment, theological uh convictions rather. Um I'm I think we're enshrined or ensouled like physically, right? So
Yeah,
like
sure, sure. You're
we
saying
are a
it's there. It's got
combination.
some weight to it. I'm just gonna
Yeah, it
say,
does.
if you
It's a vital.
die, if you die, and then like it turns out there is an afterlife, but it's like the Egyptian afterlife, okay?
Sure.
And suddenly
Sure.
you're on like a boat, and
Yeah.
what is it, Osiris or whatever, or who I don't remember who weighs your
Well,
soul.
Mott. Here we go, Mott. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
wow, I did not expect this. I mean, I watched that Moon Knight show, so I kind of
Yeah.
get where we're going here, but I did not expect this. This is a real surprise. You guys, huh? Okay. Cool stuff. I hope my soul's pretty lightweight. That would just be, I would find it pretty amusing. I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, wow,
You're
this
like
is
you
funny.
guys, huh?
Yeah, you guys, you're the ones. This is it. This is the one. All right. Cool. I mean, I'm here, so I guess it's true. You know. Anyways.
Amazing.
Um, all right. So, yes, like technically somebody said, where is it? Blah, 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 blah. The new book coming soon has new magic items for every army while updating the Marauder rules. It kind of rocks. Yes, exactly. Like that. I didn't pull that one in, but yes, like again, the newest Arcane Journal is the Marauder one.
Yep.
Arcane Journals are what Broken Realms and Dawnbringers was. Is that right? Kind of. It's not a horrible analogy at all. It's very aligned. The problem is we always have to wait until like the last 6 months of an edition to get any of those
Yeah.
good books, right? Whereas they should be doing
Yeah.
this kind of stuff on the reg, right? So there you
Yeah.
go. So there you go. 101 said, curse the YouTube comment character limit for preventing us from paying proper honor to Cetra. And then Hades said, if you let a character limit stop you from honoring him, you never really honored him to begin with. Got him. Okay.
Got him.
Got him. All right. Okay. Next up, the Hellsmiths of Hushut. The Chaos Dwarves. They're back, baby. They're back. Okay. Brand new army. This is our probably new army for this edition.
Sure.
A lot of cool new sculpts, incredible models.
That's rough though that you just said that. Probably the brand new army. Like, how do we not have Malarian yet? Or Tyrion?
Uh-huh.
4th edition.
10 years in. Yeah.
10 years, man.
10 years. Correct. Freaked out, joined the army, left, went into business for myself. Now I'm a professional killer. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, but it's probably true, right? Like, do you think I'm wrong?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not contesting that at all.
Right. Okay. Got it.
I'm
You're just saying
acknowledging
it's
it.
sad.
Yes.
You're sad about it. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. Like, how are we here? That's what I'm saying.
Getting one new army per edition, janky. There you go. How about that? Hellsmiths, beautiful models, actual legitimate pleasure to assemble, very fun to paint. They're not overtly ridiculously detailed. They have like just the right amount. The models feel great. They're kind of small because they're dwarves. They're short. Less surface area. That's nice. I would never think about that advantage. I've never painted dwarves before. Yeah. Like, oh, these guys this is like a less surface area here. It's just shorter dude. Like I started playing this army. I am midway through painting this army.
I think very aware.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what else to say besides that. Obviously it's a huge thank you for me. They have a silly, faction mechanic where you're walking around desolating your terrain and assigning doing your little accounting task at the beginning of every turn. But other than that, I legitimately think the book is very fun and full of like a lot of fun stuff. And actually some pretty decent internal balance by at least unit type. So what I mean there is like generally there's a winner. Like you always take the one shooters over the others, like the blunderbusters over the other guys. Those aren't balanced, but like you generally do want some shooters and some of these guys and some of those guys and some of this and like a war machine, right? Like you are, I think, pretty encouraged to actually want to use most of those units. They all have value. So that's cool.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. They don't use a lot of hammers. I mean, the main guy on the cover here has a hammer, which is funny because it's like the only hammer in the entire army is the champion of the infantry unit. Yeah,
Sure.
they're swords and spears and stuff, my man. Which is wise. They use their hammers for smithing, the swords and the spears for fighting, because they know which weapon belongs in which context. Because hammers are bad weapons, as a matter of fact, for actually killing another human being in a war. They're like bulky, heavy, slow, inefficient against things like shields, and they don't have good reach. They don't have good manipulation. They're extremely unbalanced and hard on the wrists. Like, yeah, no, they're a terrible weapon that you should actually wield in war. Like the sword and spear are way better weapons. That's why the vast majority of armies in history wielded some variant of those two things.
Weird.
Yes. Until they eventually made guns, obviously. Obviously. But anyways, yeah, I'd like huge thank you on these guys. Where'd you come down though? I mean, I don't know. What do you think about these dudes?
I'm Thanky. Like I was skeptical initially. Like I felt like it was probably they were probably just gonna be pandering, right? And it didn't feel like that at all. It felt like a nice, honest homage, like translation army. Like, man, I wish the elves had been that well tended to.
Sure. I'm curious, Hades, as to what in my statement you find not true, but okay, I'll let you say. Type out your response, my man. Tell me what you think is untrue. I'm ready. Yeah, these guys are great. Like all in all, good stuff. I liked them a lot. And it surprised me because, like, I was pretty anti this army before it came out. Then I got my hands on it, and I was like, never mind, I'm back on board.
It's true.
Well, clubs and things like that, I disagree. Professional armies did not use hammers or clubs, although things like flails or other heavy punishing weapons were frequently used in close combat, especially amongst heavy plate armor, because yes, the percussive force could actually break organs through heavier plate armor. So if you're talking in the later medieval period, you often had people carrying sidearms of more like bludgeoning style weapons. It wouldn't have been a club. It would have been something more heavy. A Morning Star would have been pretty popular because it's a combination of both percussive force and penetrating power. Okay. But spears and all their associated like glaive type weapons. Okay.
Back to Corbin.
Sure. Were like the backbone of armies from the early Greek period, basically through to the, let's say, like 13 to 1400s. Swords and sidearms, basically like short swords, whether you talk like the Roman gladius or anything else like that, going back to kopeshes and things, were extremely effective before you developed heavier plate armor where slashing type weapons weren't as effective, right? We can go toe to toe on this, my man. I love weapon history, okay? But like, yes, I'm not saying they're like useless. I'm saying you don't generally arm your main force with a hammer as their main weapon. That would not have been your professional army for most major nation states in just most of history. Right? Like depending on the period and the armor that's available. Okay. Like they have more, or certain weapons have more or less value, obviously. But there you go. Like there's a reason that in the East you tend to still stick toward a lot more slashing and reach type weapons, because armor never really, like the armor wasn't heavy enough to withstand that kind of damage. when you're dealing with things like lamellar and lacquered armor and things like that, they were still quite susceptible to those sorts of things, especially because those weapons could also be used quite efficiently as piercing weapons. Like they had good punch power to them. But anyways, all right. Who cares? This isn't weapons talk. We can do a whole show on that if you want. All right. The new Marauders, Tom. I put them in here. They're again another old world thing. But look, man.
Sure.
That's right. Yeah, week 4 or 5 of us talking about these Marauders on this show that I am very enamored by. You know where I'm falling on that.
Yeah.
Thanky. These guys rock. They're so cool. Like, these are just great Marauders. I have rediscovered my love of cold Marauders. That's what it is.
Sure. I'm a fan of cold Marauders.
Yeah.
Like my my Dark Oath are going to be cold.
Going for the chill lands. Yeah. Again, awesome proxies for AOS. Like, again, I just love releases like this where they just slide so easily into Dark Oath, into AOS, right? If you want to play like Dark Oath from not Akshi, basically. Okay. These guys just like drop right in there. Okay. Oh, Arden Throne would love a show on weapons and which Warhammer armies have the most realistic and coolest weapons. Oh my God, that's such a good show. I got to figure out who in the community is a really deep weapons expert. Because like I know a lot, but I mean I'm not going to say I'm like a scholar of the thing.
I have some suggestions. I might know 1 or 2.
Like yeah, that would be such a fun show to like review the armies based on their actual practicality, right? Yes, that's great. What a Arden, that's a really good idea. We're doing that show. Okay. Call out right now. If you're somebody watching who actually is like has deep knowledge on, weapons, the more global, the better. Reach out, hit me up in the comments or on socials. I want to know. We're going to get this organized. The ultimate nerd fight. Okay. Yeah, that's great. All right. Okay. LRL is number 1. Number 1 in which way? All right. So yeah. You got to vote on the Marauders. You're Thanky as well, I assume?
I am.
Okay. All right, very good. There are a few good weapon YouTubers. Yeah, there are some good weapon YouTubers, yes. I'm not sure they would deign to come on our show, but sure. Okay. Here. What you might say, Tom, what is this random picture you have of some trolls and some vampires? Don't worry. There is a thing here. Do you know what this is, Tom?
No.
This.
Yeah, I do. They're the Battle Force boxes.
There you go. Good job. You got it.
Yeah. I saw them being sent out at my store yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, exactly. Yes, the Battle Force boxes for this year. The annual ritual of the Battle Force boxes. Certainly they are a release. We got our vampires. We got our trolls. We got our Skaven. And we got, what was the 4th one? I don't remember the 4th one. Doesn't matter.
That's the point. That's the point. I don't know that there was.
There was a 4th one.
There was a weird number this year.
No, there's 4. There's 4 because there's 6 40K ones. There's 10 total. God, I don't remember the 4th one. All right, somebody in the comments. What am I forgetting? Hit us. What was the 4th one? Anyways, what'd you think of them overall?
Well, as I saw them being set out, I went,
Sure. But is that a judgment?
The problem
is Sylvaneth. Yes, of course. The horrible Sylvaneth one that was so bad. All right, got it. Thank you.
The cost keeps going up on these. Sure. So these become less of a good deal every year.
Yeah.
I think they're up to like 230, 240 now or something insane.
Okay.
At 160, 170 or 180, somewhere in that range back then, they had my attention. But at this price point, nope.
Now, is that just like old man yells at cloud, like things are too expensive these days? When I was a boy, we used to get 17 figures for a shiny nickel.
I think that it's a combination of a couple different things. I think it has to do with the price point per trash model. Because whenever you bulk buy these armies, you're always getting some junk units. Some units you're just simply not gonna use.
Sure.
And in general, what's happening at these price points, it's also becoming a little bit harder to find these like heavily discounted, like you used to be able to find these heavily discounted.
Sure. Sure.
And
Well, I
at like
think that
thrifty
Sylvaneth one's
vendors.
going to end up heavily discounted on some people's shelves. Let me just say that.
Sure,
Wait
but
2
it's never
months.
gonna get used, but because the bulk of it is trash dryads.
I
I mean, that's the
agree.
point, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that the actual value that's in the box in general, like, let me say it this way. If you add up the units that are actually gonna get played and they equal the value of the box, it's not a good box,
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
right? And that's the problem that's happening so often with these armies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the to look at this specifically, like probably the best value here is the Soul Blight or the
Yes.
Trolls. So those are the only two that are
That's the
really going to
reason I
get
picked
played.
those two. Yeah, you're
Yes,
exactly right. Yeah.
but for the Trolls, you have to now be buying into Trolls because if you just bought the Realm Breakers box, you already had the named Troll,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so this is valueless to you if you already had that box. Because the
Yeah.
main centerpiece, you're like
Yeah, I
you
understand.
don't
You don't need
need
two
it anymore,
trugs. Yeah.
right? And there's so much value wrapped up in Trug. And so I like for me, really the Vamp one is the only semi-viable one.
I would absolutely rate them in the following order. Vampire, I think, is actually a big win. All 4 units are absolutely playable and good, and you would put them in an army.
Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah,
probably in the exact numbers that you get here, right?
yeah,
Like your Blood Knights are either
yep,
going to be a pack of 10 or 2 5s. That's how you'd almost always use them. You'd want the 3
yep,
bats because they're great for tactics and Vorterai rocks, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Trolls is number 2 because if you don't have trolls, like if this is really like you wanting to get into trolls, it's actually a
yeah,
great box to get into trolls. You get
yes,
1 unit of river trolls, which is like, okay, maybe use them, maybe you don't, but it's fine. You want them
yep,
for your troll army. You probably use 3 trolls in your army. You're mostly using rock. You probably have at least 1 dankhold, and certainly you have trug. So again, every unit is at least useful. 1 is like on the border, but still there, right?
yep,
Okay.
yep,
Again, you're right. There are problems if you've already in the army, if you've already got it, fine. Number 3 is the Skaven box, which is full of like things that you will actually play with, and then a bunch of storm vermin
yep,
you won't. Right. And this is the main problem.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah,
You just get like a huge chunk of dead plastic because you're never playing with storm vermin because they're garbo. Right. You're like, no. And then bottom of the barrel is the Sylvaneth. That's just like basically you get like there's 1 model in there you'd play with. Terrible. Absolute terrible. Atrocity. Does that sound right to you?
yeah. I think that's probably right.
Okay. So then, given we've got 2 that are decent and 2 that are bad, or whatever, that are above the line, below the line,
Yeah,
what is this? Is it overall thanky or overall janky?
probably Thanky, but just kissing the line.
I
Like
agree.
like the only thing that is really truly of value, I would argue, is the Soul Blight. Simply because, as was pointed out in the chat, the Vordry himself is 195, and so the box at 230, right?
Sure.
Like
Oh yeah.
everything's playable. In general, the value is actually there. I don't know
Sure.
that the value is actually there with the other ones.
Yep. The Sylvaneth and the Votan ones are still in stock on a major Australian online retailer where all the others sold out within minutes or hours. Yes.
Checks out.
Yeah. What's wrong with storm vermin? They're bad, I guess, basically is what I would say. They don't like actually do what you'd want them to do, and they die super easy because anything with like a average save and 1 health is bad and no ward.
Mhm.
Like that doesn't really do any damage. I don't know what the point of them is. They cost some amount of points, which are generally not good. Like they're not, wardens good. And I think wardens aren't even that good. Like people don't really play
Yeah.
wardens, and they're definitely worse than that. Right. So I'm not sure what they do in the army.
Yeah.
And like Stumbling Snake said, I got some use out of them with now that Crit Talk isn't 200 points, which I agree. Like having Crit Talk around is good, but I'd rather still use Crit Talk with like I don't know, anything else, anything else in the Verminous clan, basically. Oh, hey, you described 70% of LRL. Yeah, no, exactly. I did. It's a problem. It's like the biggest problem with LRL right now. Yes, I agree, Hades. They just die so easy. It's a real challenge. I think it's one of the things that's been a real fight for them. Okay. That's why the things that win with LRL are like the weird builds that either like want to play the game in a completely orthogonal way. It's certainly not the Venari heavy builds. It's, stone and wind. Okay.
Yeah.
Last major release, technically it's within this year. It hasn't actually come out yet, but we're going to count it because we know it's here. It just went up on pre-order or whatever. Warhammer Quest: Darkwater, Grim Adventure in the Ruins of the Mortal Realms. This box. You get some dumb heroes. 6 of which look really stupid. 2 of which look pretty cool. And then you get a bunch of really awesome Nurgle models that will be usable in AOS for about a year before they go to Legends. So that'll be cool. But they are neat models. Like, legitimately, I think they're really cool. Those Blight Templars are some of my favorite Nurgle models they've ever made. I think they're amazingly good looking. I love the Beastmen in this set. I think they look great. The actual, like, Beastman hero, Beastman hero in here, if somebody doesn't do that model for Golden Demon in March, it's an utter failure. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the price makes it Warhammer Quest Dogwater. I haven't seen how much it is. I do not have a copy of this. I don't know how much it is. I don't know anything about it. I've only seen the same thing everybody else has seen. So, but what's the price, Sporadicus? You'll have to fill me in. I'm not going to buy this because I don't play board games. But I'm curious. There you go. What's the price? But Tom, what do you think about this? What do you think about Darkwater?
Yeah, I like it.
$255. Woo! Woo! Boy.
I may not like it at that price.
That is premium pricing. Holy Moses.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
That is a lot.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, I feel like we're going to have to then discuss this like this, right? Okay. Models, pretty good. Play style, not sure yet. Couple people I've talked to have said they really like it. A couple people I've talked to have said they don't like it. So I'm going to call that one neutral. Okay.
Sure.
Price, out of control. $255 is insane. That's insane. Like, that's insane. That shaman dough does rock. I'm gonna have to buy. I'll just buy that shaman on eBay. It's easy enough. Somebody will sell the individual guys. Oh, that's right. The Nurgle guys are getting individual boxes. Yeah, so who even cares? Cool. So Tom, are we janking this out just on price alone? Did this go jank because of the price?
No. I love Warhammer Quest.
Okay. You're still on board.
Yep.
Okay.
I have one on pre-order, and it's still going to stay on pre-order.
Fair enough. I'm going to give it a janky. We'll split decision the final one here because I'm sorry, man. That's crazy. $255 is wild. Right? That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah. For like probably a game that you're going to play like 3 times. So I did get to Hades. I did get to see the map book kind of up close because I saw somebody else who had this, and it seemed like they did it right. I saw them lay it out, flip the pages, do all that stuff, and like the construction of the book was really good. Like they actually paid to have the proper binding, to do the proper like thickness on the pages, all of that kind of thing. So it seems like they didn't skimp on the quality of the book, which I'm I mean, at the price they're charging, I certainly hope not.
Yep.
But so that was a strike in their favor there, or whatever. It was a mark in their favor. Okay. All right, cool. All right, folks. Everything else, just anything else that we wanted to chat about. I wrote down here like Golden Demon, Warhammer Animations, Black Library, that kind of stuff, right? Okay. Tom, you're a big fan of the Warhammer Animations, right? You've watched some of that stuff. Like you watched Black Talon or
Yeah,
whatever.
I haven't watched it recently. But what I would say is this: like, I am at least always like hopeful that it'll get better.
Okay.
But
I
there'll
saw
be
they
more
put up the
stuff.
preview for like season 2 or something today, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, in general, I like the trajectory that they're on, is what I would say.
Okay. Peppo says, fun fact, this is the same cost as Curse City when you adjust for inflation. Okay. Hey, there you go. Well, just shows how much inflation's been a factor recently. How about that? All right. So are you thanky for the Warhammer animations?
No. I mean, I still think it's janky. Like, I don't think that there's enough like, there's not enough value there. There's simply not enough. Like, this goes back to the question of Warhammer Plus and the books and all that stuff. And I just think that they, if I were GW, I think that they turn on the codes to books with a subscription.
Yep.
And you turn on codes with the subscription, and then you work on actually creating value in the subscription itself of the content.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say janky as well on the entire Warhammer Plus, all of this stuff. It's still stupid. Streaming services right now are getting eaten up. Like, I mean, you know, Hulu's going away because it's getting absorbed into like Disney Plus or whatever next year, right? Like, if we're killing out Hulu, we don't need Warhammer Plus in our lives. So there you go.
Right. Poor Hulu.
Indeed. I mean, like, I'm not excited to have to use Disney Plus's stupid UI to find my Hulu shows, but whatever, that's fine. I did watch Marvel Zombies, by the way, Tom. And
did you enjoy it?
I did. It ended in not the way I expected. I was thinking not that, but okay.
I mean, the ending of that is supposed. No, the ending of that is how you're supposed to understand. And they didn't, because they didn't make it clear enough. But it's how you're actually supposed to understand the Ant-Man Quantumania.
I guess, sure, I suppose. I just assumed we're setting up for another season. But anyways, it was cool.
We are. But what I'm saying is that, like, that twist, or however, like, you understand what happened there, like, that's actually how you should have understood Quantumania, and everybody thought it was like, but here's the question: did you actually watch the what if episode before you watched the series?
Nah, of course not. When it started up, I knew the characters. I knew when we were going to the what if characters. I knew who they were.
Okay? Yeah. Of course.
That was fine. It is insane they don't put out the animations for free to build hype in the lore and setting. I agree. Just like put them on YouTube. You'll make money off them. Probably more than you're making off of Warhammer Plus people subscribing for them, honestly. Like, for real. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, Golden Demon, I just want to give a big thank you for that. They've made a lot of positive changes this year. I am like, they solidified like the actual sort of categories, like the finalists and noteworthy and commended and all of that, and have little like nice little bronze, silver, gold pins for those things. They brought in the guest judge to help judge. Like they brought in, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but they brought in a real judge and artist to help them judge. So that's nice. They're still not giving feedback and doing all the things that they should be doing, but they also started sharing things like everybody who got finalists and commended entries and stuff like that, which was really great, because a lot of those people put a ton of work in and they just missed. So on the whole, I think it's been a very positive year for Golden Demon. And the pieces, obviously, that I saw this year were just incredible. Adepticon, and both Adepticon and Spiel, the two big Golden Demons this year, the 2 this year, I should say, had pieces that just absolutely blew me away. The artists were incredible. The level of artistry was amazing. And so better program, better award structure, better consistent rules, like very positive changes overall. I think it's been a great thank you year for Golden Demon. It was just worth mentioning. When they actually do the right thing, I think it's important to go, hey, good job.
Yeah.
You know,
Agreed.
and they have. They've done a lot of the right things. So that's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about Black Library. Somebody can tell me if there's been any good books this year. Obviously, Chuck made me put in the like refreshed Horus Heresy thing. You know, there's like 60 some books in that, Tom.
Nope.
In like the actual Horus Heresy, but they're doing this thing that's like, look, don't worry about all that. Just here's these 12 books. This is the series you can read through. I'm like, that's still too many books. I just want to say, okay. You know my rule with anime. 26, 52 episodes max. That's it. If you go longer than that, I'm not interested. Okay. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
Yep.
I ain't interested in your 30 seasons of One Piece. That can piss right off. Okay.
Yep.
So like I'm the same way with these kinds of books. I don't need a series that long. Okay. I don't read I never got through the Wheel of Time because I couldn't make it through that. That was too many books, and that isn't even close. So there we go. Okay. Somebody asked earlier what if about the Hellsmiths book. Sorry, I meant to respond to it. Yes, big thank you on the Hellsmiths book. Freerun, absolutely amazing. Did you watch Freerun yet, Tom?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Waiting on season 2 in January.
In January, I know. Yeah, very stoked. Yes, I agree with you across the pond. Freerun is maybe, other than her voice in the dub, which really bothers me. Okay, like Freerun herself, her voice is just like it's not the actress's fault. It's just like the affect that they clearly have her using. It's just so annoying,
especially
to me.
when she gets excited or seemingly like childish. I'm just like, what's happening now?
No,
like
that's the part
even.
I mind the least.
Really? She's like even and detached, and then suddenly she's like, yay! And I was like,
sure.
okay, wait, what is happening? Yeah.
Yes. I am very thanky for the
Snip
new golden puppy. I'll be thankier. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Clip that. I'll be much happier when the new golden puppy stops peeing on everything. But yes, I agree. 56 Droodle says you'd love One Piece, Vince. I'm sure. I've watched One Piece. I've watched some of it. Okay, because 25 years ago or whatever, when I worked at CompUSA and would go in on Saturday mornings, because I always worked Saturday mornings. Like that was just my constant schedule for all of the time I worked there. I always worked Saturday morning. I would go in early and sit in the break room and watch cartoons. Okay. And so, and One Piece was on the Saturday morning cartoon block at that time. Right. And so that I don't even remember. Who knows what arc we were in, because it's like it says 30 seasons, but that's a joke. It's really 30 arcs. Keep in mind those seasons are like wildly different in One Piece. Like you'll see a season or an arc with like 60 episodes and an arc with like 18, right? But at any rate, so I've watched plenty of One Piece. Worry you not. And no, it's terrible. I hate it. I hate it. Okay. There you go. Anyways, anything else? Tom, was there anything else in the year that we missed? Nope. Audience, did we miss anything? Okay. I want to know.
It's all fine.
Yes. That's right. Peppo says you got to really justify over 52 episodes to me. Yes, correct. Yeah, I think it was on 4Kids. Yes, I think that's right. 56 Droodles. Yes. I'm sure it was like edited and changed around and everything else. But yeah, I watched like 4Kids TV in the morning because, I was a 25-year-old man. So, of course, I watched the 4Kids version. As well as everything else. That was also when I watched Winx Club and Winx Club Forever. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So there you go. I'm big in for that. Now, that's a show I could get behind. Trench Crusade. Hey, there you go. That's a good one for the year. Not really a Warhammer thing, but I am thanky for it. It rules. I'm working my way through my warband right now, painting them up. So there you go. No, I hate Dragon Ball. Sorry. There you go. Okay. Cool. Well, Tom, in the end, I'm thanky for you. I know this has been a very busy year for you. You got a lot going on.
Has been.
in your life.
It has been.
But it seems like mostly mostly positive stuff. I think you're on a good trajectory. So at any rate, I'm thanky for you. And you know who else I'm thanky for? Our amazing audience. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you to everybody who commented. I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping us keep this show going every week. Don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, throw some money at the show by clicking one of the affiliate links down there. Black Friday is coming up. Maybe if you're going to buy stuff from any hobby thing right now, Monument Hobbies has like a big 20% off Black Friday thing. You can use my code. You can use my little affiliate link down there. That's super awesome and helpful. Go do it if you're going to buy anything from them. So like if you go to those stores and take advantage of their deals, maybe use my little codes and stuff. It's helpful. And really appreciate it. So check all that stuff out. Don't forget to check out the new episodes of Fireball the Gazebo and Snarlcast. Both of those are still, coming out every week. We're having a great time with both of them. We just actually recorded a couple new episodes here very recently. So the new episode coming for Fireball the Gazebo, Tom, you'll be interested to know this next Tuesday, is all about running your own business in D&D. You know what I'm talking about? Like when the players get together and have like a hustle going on, you're like, you got some kind of business, you're running an inn together or a traveling carnival or whatever, that kind of stuff. So it's a very fun episode. Anyways, thank you all so much. I hope everybody, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a truly wonderful long weekend and a holiday weekend. I hope you spend the time with your family if you want to. Or if you don't, then I hope you get to spend it alone doing whatever the heck you want. But I hope it is just a wonderful, relaxing several days for everybody. If you don't, hey, I hope you just have a wonderful Thursday. But we'll be back here, as always, next week. Don't forget, we'll see you next Wednesday. And as always, start rolling dice.